to The Daily Show. I'm Josh Johnson. We've got so much to talk about tonight. Donald Trump is losing his mind and his hands. He's inventing new ways to do makeup wrong, and he has a dream that one day he will not be judged by the content of the Epstein files. So, let's get into the headlines. Let's kick things off with distractions. What it looks like when they're fed to the media and what it looks like when they don't work. Because right now, Donald Trump is desperate to move on from the Epstein files. But the story is only building.
A major development just in. The Department of Justice says it is trying to set up a meeting with longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison.
The Justice Department now putting out a new statement and saying if Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what she has to say.
Wait. You haven't talked to Ghislaine Maxwell? Epstein's accomplice? The woman he's in the most pictures with? Wouldn't she be your first witness? Also, stick with me here. How funny would it be if the FBI gets there and she's like, I'm finally ready to talk. I'm finally ready to tell you everything. But then at the last second, she grabs one of the agent's guns and takes herself out. The FBI would have to come out like, okay, I know how this looks. But I swear, here's how much I want you to believe me. We did do the first one, okay? We did run up on Epstein and, like, held him down, shook him a little bit. We didn't do this one. But while we wait to see if Ghislaine survives this interview, Trump has been doing everything that he can to keep those files under wraps. He's even got his friends in Congress trying to help. Mike Johnson shut down the House just to avoid a vote on the release of the files. Yeah. Do you understand that they clear Congress out for the summer like they found a dookie in the pool? But trying to shut down the release of the files only makes them more interesting. So over the last week, Trump has been throwing every distraction he can at us. And I want to go through some of them to show you how desperate he's getting. Let's start with his go-to distraction. Obama!
The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. Irrefutable proof that Obama was sedacious.
No, booze aside. Sedacious? It feels like he's mispronouncing a new black friend's name. Oh, I want you to meet my friend, Sedacious. Thanks. It's Sean. The problem with this distraction is that it's so old, Jeffrey Epstein wouldn't date it, all right? Trump has been going after Obama for decades. He's gonna need something else, something juicy.
The White House offering an unexpected health update on President Trump, revealing that he recently underwent a battery of tests and has now been diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency.
Doctors tell us it means there isn't adequate blood flow to the veins in the legs, which can cause swelling.
Oh, no. Look at that ankle. When I said something juicy, I didn't mean... A shoe should not give you a muffin top. And I cannot stress how big of a deal this is, because they never admit that Trump has anything but impeccable health. Usually they bring out a doctor to be like, Donald Trump has big muscles and a girthy ass dick. Medically speaking, he makes Hercules look like a pig with cancer. Like, I'm not exaggerating. His doctors once said that his blood pressure was astonishingly excellent. That's not even how blood pressure works. Blood pressure is numbers. If you want to impress us, say 120/80. They made it sound like Trump could control his blood pressure like the settings on a fancy hose. His blood pressure is on miss, but he can turn it up to cone or jet if he so chooses. But I get why they put this out. One, it's a good distraction. And two, people have been starting to notice that Trump looks, medically speaking, like shit.
After these images of President Trump started to draw attention, apparent bruises on his hands covered with makeup seen in February and this week, the White House physician says it's consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin.
Well, problem solved. No one's going to shake hands that look like that. Even that hand right there, you could tell that the thumb is like, ew, 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 ew. But okay, Trump violating his own HIPAA rights didn't get people to move on from Epstein. So now he's getting snacks involved.
President Trump says he's convinced Coca-Cola to change its recipe. The president claims that the company has agreed to start using real cane sugar in Coke products.
This is so insulting. Trump's treating Americans like a kid you can bribe with a treat. Allow me to demonstrate what Donald Trump is going for here. I don't care about pedophilia anymore. Delicious. And if all that doesn't work for you, if you don't care about Coke or Trump's health, don't worry. He's got some true crime for you.
This morning, the Trump administration releasing more than 230,000 pages of records related to the assassination of civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr.
That's how bad things are for Trump. His back is against the wall so hard, he's releasing more Black history. But this might be the worst distraction because all he did was remind us that he can declassify thousands of secret files, and people noticed.
Bernice King, the daughter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., posted this picture on social media with the caption that simply reads, "Now do the Epstein files."
Damn, that is cold. Do you know how much you have to screw up for Dr. King's family to go, no, no, we choose violence? If Trump wants to distract us, all he has to do is keep his promises. If you ended the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, that'd be extremely distracting. If you put up affordable housing, Americans would be like, what Epstein files? What Epstein files? I'm too distracted memorizing my new home address. If you want to think of it in terms you can understand, think of it like a bribe, Mr. President. You're the deal guy. Make us a deal. We want to know what's in the Epstein files, but if you put some universal health care in your palm and hand it over, Epstein who? I ain't seen nothing. For more on Trump trying to get away from the Epstein files, let's go live to the Department of Justice with Grace Kuhlenschmidt. Grace, these MLK files are such a waste of time.
Yeah, nothing I do on this show is a waste of time, Josh, because I actually went through all of the MLK files, and there are some bombshells.
Let me stop you right there, because last week you said Pam Bondi gave you new Epstein files, and they were clearly doctored to make Trump look good. So are you sure these MLK files are real?
100% absolutely. They gave me real files this time. Like this secret audio recording of MLK on a vintage iPod mini from 1963.
I don't feel good about the way this is starting.
Just wait until you hear it. This is the first time it's ever been played publicly, and it will shock you.
Are all the plans set for tomorrow's March on Washington? Yes, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Do you want me to invite Jeffrey Epstein to speak at it? No. My good friend Donald Trump told me Epstein is a bad person, and I always listen to Donald Trump. President Trump is an inspiration to me, and there's nothing wrong with the way his hands and ankles look.
I mean, wow. Thank you, FBI. Sunlight truly is the best disinfectant.
Grace, there's so many things wrong with that recording.
Name 6.
The timeline makes no sense. They didn't have iPods back then. That sounded like somebody doing an impression of Dr. King. He called Trump President Trump, and the other guy called him Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Sounds to me like you don't really respect Dr. Day. But fine. If you don't believe that, take a look at this document Tulsi Gabbard gave me. It's a secret letter MLK wrote from a Birmingham jail.
No. MLK's letter from a Birmingham jail was never secret. We all read it in school.
Yeah, the front of it. But only Tulsi Gabbard had the brains to flip it over. And on the back, Dr. King wrote, P.S. Fun fact about jail. Lots of pedophiles kill themselves here. It's a totally normal thing that shouldn't be investigated.
That was clearly made up. MLK never said the words fun fact.
Well, the FBI file says it was his signature catchphrase, so fun fact, you're wrong again.
It's not suspicious to you that all these secret files exonerate Trump from knowing Epstein?
That's why they're secret, Josh, because the deep state has been out to get Trump, and MLK was trying to expose their scheme. He said it in a secret video I found in the MLK files in a folder labeled Grace. Look at this. Check it out.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty!
Donald Trump has never met Jeffrey Epstein.
Grace, that's the most famous speech in the world. We all know he didn't say that.
Then why is the speech called Fun Fact, I Have a Dream?
We're never trusting you with documents again. Grace Kuhlenschmidt, everyone.